есть девайсы для перевода индивидуального, пожалуйста.
Thank you very much for being here and for taking the time to listen to me. For the people who actually understand me, speak English or use the device, I have a question. For those of you who don't know actually where the Netherlands is, but could you guess the size of the agricultural land in Ukraine or in the Netherlands? For example, René should know. Can you guess, René? Do you know the agricultural size of Ukraine versus the Netherlands? Okay. It's even more. In the Netherlands, there's 2 million hectares of agricultural land, and in the Ukraine, it's 42 million fertile land. So that's already 20 times as big as the Netherlands. But what you can actually see is that the Netherlands is the second exporter in the world of agricultural products. We export more than 80 billion euros of agricultural products all over the world, but mainly to other European countries. So agriculture is really important for the economy in the Netherlands. About 10% of our money earned in the Netherlands is being done by agriculture, and about 1 out of 10 people actually work in the agricultural sector. And why is the Netherlands so strong in the agricultural sector? I think there are a few things which we can say about it. First of all, there's a lot of innovations in the Netherlands. One of the things is that a lot of companies actually give a lot of money on research and development. So we're in the top 10 of the highest private R&D investment rate in agriculture and food. And out of the 40 largest food companies in the world, 12 have a major production site or R&D facilities in the Netherlands. And we're quite strong not only in poultry and tomatoes and potatoes and dairies, but also in the machinery for processing. So there are a lot of technologies in the Netherlands as well. Actually, it's 80% of our export that goes to the processing. One of the things that makes the agricultural sector quite strong in the Netherlands is that we have a lot of sector organizations and cooperation. So cooperation, I think, is still quite new for Ukraine, or at least now to develop something. In the Netherlands, we're quite used to working together. For example, the dairy farms. We have a lot of smaller dairy farms in the Netherlands, an average farm together to sell their milk to a company to get a better price for their quality product. And another good example of what we do in the Netherlands is what we call the Golden Triangle. That is actually the cooperation between the governments, between the universities and between the businesses. The Food Valley, which is situated in Wageningen, really in the center of the Netherlands. This is where you can find the best agricultural university in the world, Wageningen University. It's where you can find all the businesses, it's where you can find the startups, and where you find the government as well. Now also Unilever, who has a fabricator as well in Ukraine. Unilever is now centralizing their research and development in Wageningen as well. So they're transferring all the R&D facilities from Germany, from Belgium, from Poland, all to Wageningen University. We actually see here the business opportunities, 162 million, so that's 24% of the trade. What do we export mainly? So that's animal feed, the cut flowers, of course. Also coffee, you may find quite weird in this list, but that's also because of the logistics center we have in the harbor of Rotterdam. So actually it's being shipped out of. And in the future, we're really focusing on the export of innovative products, of know-how, services, and for example, what we do in Wageningen as well. And what can you see at the business opportunities and ways of cooperations if you look the other way around, so from Ukraine to the Netherlands? It's actually the export from Ukraine to the Netherlands is bigger than the other way around. It's 560 million, and it's mainly focusing on maize and corn, as you can see. But where do we see the future for the export of Ukraine? that is not only in bulk. Of course, here in Ukraine, you produce a lot of bulk products like maize, like grain. But I think for Ukraine, it would be possibilities in some niche markets as well. If you look at organic feed, if you look at fruit and vegetables, but also in confectionery, so a lot of jams here. And what are the global challenges that we're facing and where Ukraine can play a major role? The biggest role is, of course, that in 2050, there are 9 billion people to feed in the world. And as our minister said, we can't feed the world with our tomatoes, but we can feed the world from the Netherlands with our innovative products, with our technology, with our know-how. And that way we can actually help the agricultural sectors in other countries, like in Ukraine. So the long-term strategy for Ukraine should also be focused on that feeding the world. But also you need to think about what is actually the brand of Ukraine. I think the nice example is here the Holland Pavilion. The Holland branding is actually the tulip and the orange, recognizable all over the world. But what is now also the Ukrainian brand? And one of the things you can think about is that as a Ukrainian company, if you would be able to export to the European Union, you can actually export to all over the world. But you need to look at a few things. For example, also the diversification of the market. That's something that we see in the Netherlands as well. Soon we had the ban from Russia. We needed to make a diverse market access in other places as well. As of course in Ukraine you can see it here as well, especially in the east. So where to look for other markets. But also, of course, as I said, one of the strengths of the Netherlands is the R&D. So where do companies actually are going to invest also in the research and development? As we look at the priority sectors as a Dutch government here in Ukraine, we have a few priority sectors. First of all is potatoes, then on the horticulture, including greenhouses, the dairy farming. Very big is now the biomass, and we're trying to look at organic as well. And then we have some projects with the governments as well, for example, on rural development and on food safety. And these projects, or the priority sectors I just mentioned, are all clustered into different kinds of projects. And you can find them all here today and tomorrow at the Holland Pavilion. I'm really proud of that. So the first is the Partners International Business Food Tech Link. That's a group of companies which is being supported by the Dutch government as well, and they're mainly big in food processing. We have the Partners International Business for Bio-based Energy in Ukraine. Ukraine wants to be independent from imported of gas in 2020. For that, biomass is really important. So the liaison of the Partners International Business Biomass is here as well. We have a Dutch dairy center with René Kremers, who is sitting here as well. And we're actually trying to set up a training center on how to, for example, the cow signal training, which you can see tomorrow in a special seminar. We have Plus for Progress, which is a group of innovative companies. And we have Rosetta Garden, who you can actually see now today here with the vegetables. They show at the demonstration field that planting material from the Netherlands is actually growing really good here in Ukraine as well. How can you get in touch with the Dutch business in Ukraine? You can go to the website of the Orange Directory, which is a platform of the Dutch business in Ukraine. Here at the picture you can actually see that all the Dutch companies are spread out through Ukraine as well. From the Dutch side we find it really important as well to go to all the regions. That's why we're here in Kharkiv as well with a large delegation.